What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 190, and we start today's episode off with a game against Southampton here, and this is the penultimate game of the Barclays Premier League season as Southampton come and take us on at the Emirates Stadium. And as you can see by the league table, we have now slipped out of the top four. As you can see, we're in 5th place now, but we have a game in hand on the teams above us, and if we win this game, we will go ahead of Spurs by a single point. If we draw, we'll be behind them by a single point, and if we lose, yeah, we'll be behind them by 2. So coming into this game, we had to win, really. I mean, if we want to get ourselves back into the top 4 and if we want to be in the best possible position on the final day of the Premier League, we have to win this one. So we take on Southampton here, and the first chance would fall in the 8th minute as Sanchez wins the ball back off target. He crosses the ball in, picks out Danny Welbeck, and it's just a perfect start for us. Sanchez crossing, Welbeck heading, Arsenal 1, Southampton 0, 8.5 minutes in, and it's exactly what we needed, because in the game against West Brom, our last league game at home, we had a very poor start. We conceded 2 pretty early goals. Against Swansea there, we scored in the first 5 minutes, and in this game we score in the first 10 minutes. So Danny Welbeck with the goal makes it 1-0, and we put ourselves in a very healthy position coming into this game. And in the 22nd minute here, Nathaniel Klein goes down his right hand side for Southampton and takes on Kieran Gibbs. He beats the left back, crosses the ball in, and at the far post, it's not really dealt with by Callum Chambers. It comes to Jay Rodriguez, and fortunately for us, he puts his shot just wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. I at first thought that went in. Thankfully not though, so still 1-0 to Arsenal, but another good chance here for Southampton as Drennan's on the ball for them just past half an hour mark. He finds Jay Rodriguez into James Ward-Prowse. Southampton keeping hold of the ball exceptionally well, and as James Ward-Prowse gets himself inside the area here, he crosses the ball to the far post, and Morgan Schneiderlin is denied by a very good save by Szczesny. So nice build up by Southampton. And it was funny, you know, because in the last episode, if you did miss that one, you should definitely go back and watch it. It was a very interesting game against Swansea. In the last episode, in that game against Swansea, you know, I mentioned how we won the game emphatically 4-0, but Swansea were better than us despite losing by 4 clear goals, and it was the similar things happening in this game. We were 1-0 up, but it was all Southampton for the entire game. It was all Southampton, and the fact we were still leading going into the break was a mystery. Another great chance there, that free kick going just wide and behind for a goal kick, so it was still 1-0. And in the second half, well, as Southampton come forward here with Allen down this right hand side, he takes it around Kieran Gibbs, plays it inside towards James Ward-Prowse, he crosses to the far post, Rodriguez takes a touch, and it's a brilliant finish, although I think Szczesny should have saved it as it was at his near post. Southampton get themselves back on level terms 6 minutes after the restart, and I was just sitting there and I was thinking, yeah, I'm not surprised. I've been terrible. How on earth has Southampton not scored in the first half? I had no idea. So in the second half, to, you know, concede 6 minutes after the restart, I was not surprised one bit. You know, they thoroughly deserved to be leading this game, let alone just being on level terms. But that was the situation. Rodriguez did equalise for them, scored his 17th goal of the season as he makes it Arsenal 1, Southampton 1. And in the 63rd minute here, Kagan Holland's on the ball for Arsenal and finds Rodrigo Lazari. Lazari keeps hold of the ball and spreads it through towards Aaron Ramsey. And despite Southampton cutting the ball out, it comes back to Lazari, and this guy is in fantastic form right now, and he scores again. Rodrigo Lazari puts us back in front and makes it Arsenal 2, Southampton 1. A fantastic strike by the Italian striker there. Southampton gave it away, and Lazari, well, he was never going to miss, was he? So Arsenal 2, Southampton 1, Lazari with his 9th goal of the season, and with just a few minutes to go, it was still 2-1 to Arsenal. We were leading, you know, probably undeservedly so, and as you can see here, as the ball gets played through towards Danny Welbeck here, the ball looks like it's going out of play, but Welbeck keeps it on, and Allen just lets him skip past him. Really poor defending, and Welbeck smashes the ball in the near post, and Fraser Forster, in my opinion, should have stopped that one, but he didn't, and it's Arsenal 3, Southampton 1. Welbeck gets his 2nd goal of the game, and we are going to claim the massive 3 points that we so sorely needed. So, you know, Southampton, just like Swansea, would have left this game wondering how on earth they didn't get anything from it, because they are in the game for the entire 90 minutes, and they played just as good, if not better than us, and probably better than us, really. But the fact of the matter is, football's a game where you've got to take your chances, and if you don't, you won't win. We did, and that's why we did win. So very pleased to win the penultimate game of the season. And following that, we also had the final list of players to submit for the England squad for the upcoming European Championships, Euro 2020. So this is the squad I've selected. It was actually a really hard team to select. I left out Gibbs, I left out Flanagan, I left out Lallana, I left out Corker, I left out Ward-Prowse. I left out some really decent players, to be honest, but it was so hard. and Rodriguez as well, who scored in that game, had scored 17 goals this season. Yeah, I didn't think he was good enough to get into the squad. I mean, that just says how fantastic some of the England players are in this team. So that's the England squad I chose anyway. Of course, the Euros will be starting from the next episode onwards, so look forward to that. But coming into this game against Hull City, the final game of the Premier League season, the scenario was this: win the game, we qualify for the Champions League in a guaranteed 4th place position, possibly 3rd depending on other results. If we draw the game or lose the game, Spurs, well, they've got to win, because if we lose the game we have to lose by a lot of goals in order for Spurs to draw and qualify on goal difference. So yeah, coming into the game it was as simple as this really. Spurs had to win, and if they won then we had to win, so simple as that really. But Hull come and take us on here, and we were definitely fancying our chances. It was the final game of the season, it was a very strong team out there, so I was really looking forward to this game, desperate to get ourselves the win and make sure we would indeed qualify for the Champions League and not fail at the final hurdle. But the first chance would actually fall to Hull City, and just like the last few games, we did not get off to a very good start. We really did look nervous right from the beginning, and Szczesny had to make a very good save there. But in the 25th minute, Koscielny wins the ball back, he plays it through towards Sanchez. We go on the counter, Sanchez holds the ball up, plays it through towards Rodrigo Lazari, who's got the legs to beat Oliveira, stops the ball, cuts inside with the drag back, and finesses the ball into the corner, gets his 10th goal of the season, and Lazari makes it Arsenal 1, Hull City 0. So were there nerves coming into this game? You better believe it. But as soon as Lazari scored that goal, it was our game to lose, and it was a really nice finish by Lazari there, his 10th goal of the season. And another chance fell here just before the half-time mark. Koscielny finding Kieran Gibbs, Gibbs the left back finds Alexis Sanchez, Sanchez to Ramsey, Ramsey into Lazari, nice little build up here, but Lazari is denied by a good stop by Jakupovic, and it was still 1-0. So going into the break we were 1 goal up in this game, and as things stand we're going to qualify for the Champions League next season. But a couple minutes after the restart, were Hull going to have a fast start in this game and do everything they could to spoil the party? Well, on the evidence of the first chance of the game, you probably wouldn't expect it so, because we just kept on cross-fielding the ball and you know, basically making sure that Hull City would be chasing shadows and working extremely hard to get the ball off us if they could, and they couldn't. We kept on getting ourselves inside. A good chance here was well saved by the goalkeeper initially after Gibbs' strike, but the rebound was turned in by Alexis Sanchez, and Sanchez makes it 2-0 to Arsenal here just 5 minutes after the restart. It was actually a really nice build-up. It's a shame that Jakupovic denied the Gibbs strike, because it would have been a nice goal, but in the end Sanchez was on hand to turn the rebound, and as soon as we made it 2-0 the game was practically ours. I literally just kept on controlling possession after that, because I knew it was our game and we didn't need to do anything stupid. But I did want to score a couple more goals to make the victory even more emphatic. Sanchez hit the bar here in the 70th minute before Hull City got the ball away. Pretty scrappy defending, but they got the ball away eventually, and it was still 2-0. With 10 minutes to go, Hull City were trying to get themselves back into the game, trying to spoil the party and have a late surge here. As they go down the right hand side with Moore, he skips past Kieran Gibbs and finds Robertson. Robertson inside towards Jake Livermore, he picks out Quinn, who finds Ince, and he hits the post, and we get the ball away. So Hull, who hadn't really been in the game since the first chance of the game, you know, starting to look a little bit more threatening, and the final chance would fall in stoppage time as well. Ince down his left hand side takes on Koscielny and beats him, crosses the ball in, and Josie Altidore heads the ball past Szczesny and makes it 2-1. So in stoppage time, Hull City grabbing themselves a goal back, and maybe, just maybe, there was still time for them to grab themselves an equaliser and possibly ruin our dreams of qualifying for the Champions League, but they didn't. The game finished 2-1 to Arsenal, and we deserved the victory, and we got it. So final score, Arsenal 2, Hull City 1, and of course that does mean that we have qualified for the Champions League next season. Spurs actually drew with Stoke, although I didn't get any goal updates whatsoever during that game. What a surprise. So, you know, we could have lost that game by a couple of goals, we could have drawn the game, we still would have qualified for the Champions League. But as it stands, we do finish in 4th place, and this is the final league table. As you can see, Chelsea top, City 2nd, West Brom 3rd, Arsenal 4th, Spurs 5th, United 6th, Everton 7th, Liverpool 8th, Southampton 9th, Newcastle 10th, and then the rest of the teams in the final 3, the bottom 3, were West Ham, Middlesbrough and Crystal Palace, who ended up finishing with 12 points. Crazy. But even so, yeah, we have indeed finished in the top 4, and I'm very pleased with that. Szczesny won goalkeeper of the tournament, Hernandez won golden boot. That was the team of the competition, and the player of the competition was Diego Costa. The top scorers were Hernandez top, Costa 2nd, Welbeck 3rd, Rooney 4th, and you know, a pretty decent season for us to turn it around. You know, when we arrived here at Arsenal, I was wondering whether we would indeed qualify for the Champions League. I definitely fancied my chances, I definitely felt optimistic, I definitely felt positive, but after the first couple of games, when we were starting to feel out the team a little bit, I was sitting there and I was wondering to myself, would this be a bit too much of a challenge for us? Because I wasn't liking the team. I couldn't settle on a formation. The players didn't seem to be good on their own. I honestly, I didn't know if we were going to finish in the top 4 or not. But we have. I'm very pleased with that. Of course, because we have finished in 4th place, it does mean we should have a qualifier to play next season to see if we get into the group stages or not. But even so, we should have one of those. And yeah, just to know we did finish in the top 4 was the most important aim. And that means that the board, you know, touch wood, shouldn't sack us. So very, very pleased with that. And as you can see by the squad report as well, this goes by really quickly. So if you want to pause on a particular player, feel free. And also you can look at the stats as well. Obviously, coming into Arsenal, as I mentioned many times before, we are going to be completely restructuring this team. So next season, where are we going to be looking? What positions are we going to be looking to change? Not too sure just yet. We'd like to get a couple of new fullbacks in, but we'll have to wait and see. Even so, a couple of the players have showed us that they definitely should be in the team next year. I really like Kieran Gibbs as a left back. I definitely like Callum Chambers at right back as well. Honestly, through the centre of the park, despite Ozil's advancing years, and Sanchez as well, I'd like to keep them both in the first team too, but we'll still be restructuring the team, but a couple of players will still be staying with us, no doubt about that. But that is going to end the episode, so as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon, which will of course be the start of the European Championships with England. This is our group: Spain, Portugal and Hungary, so look forward to that. I'll see you for the episode very soon, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.